Hiya. It's former Deputy Prime Minister, proud northerner from a working class background, basic instinct enthusiast and still fourth sexiest woman in the UK according to a BBC poll, and I am not resigning from that position, Angela Rayner. And welcome to another no-brainer with Angela Rayner. Well, it has been a very busy week for us Labours. It's budget week. So the call went out in the Us Labours WhatsApp group to go out on social media and big up Us Labours as much as possible. Remind the public just how much we have managed to do in the short space of time that we have been in government. And it was so wonderful to see so many of Us Labours posting about free breakfast clubs, all of the very happy train drivers and junior doctors and more money in people's pockets and very happy unions, all of the very important things that we have managed to achieve. Now, our Mike took a slightly different route. He decided to go on the attack, not of Us Labours, but of Nigel Farage, which is something that at least one of Us Labours has to do every single week because we've got to keep the pressure on him. And he decided that he was going to make a load of posts on X all about Nigel Farage's alleged links to Russia, a bit like Hillary Clinton did back in the day to Donald Trump, and that worked out really, really well for her, so maybe it will for Us Labours as well. You could actually tell from the responses to all of his many, 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 many posts about Nigel Farage that people are starting to pay attention to this now, and they are taking it quite seriously, so it's probably worth doing, which was good. Now, budget day came along and we made sure our Rachel was fully charged up, and we had uploaded loads of very important talking points like Liz Truss mini budget, like Brexit, like Trump, like £22 billion black hole, 14 years of Tory failure. We added a couple of extras as well. We added headwinds. Headwinds. I don't know what headwinds means. No idea. I don't know. But apparently it's a very important term to use now. We also added mansplaining because some of you don't know this, but our Rachel is the first ever female chancellor and it don't get mentioned enough. So it's important to add mansplaining just in case a man comes along and tries to tell her that she's wrong. It's important to do that. So she was defo ready to go except for one thing, and that was we hadn't uploaded a programme to deal with any potential leaking of her budget beforehand, and that sadly is exactly what happened. Somehow, we don't know how, defo wasn't her office, it was probably the OBR that did the leaking. Maybe on purpose, maybe not. We don't know. We're going to have to do a bit of an investigation because we're not very happy about it. But then everybody knew, so there was no surprises. And of course, Kemi seized on that straight away. And she was already talking absolute garbage in PMQs before Rachel had even stood up. She started having a go about me. I wasn't even in the chamber and she was talking. She's obsessed, talking about me and am I coming back to the front bench and have I paid my stamp duty yet and all of this. Why is this any of your business, Kemi? I said that I would pay what I owe and I will pay it. It's just it's Christmas right now, Kemi, and we've got a lot of things going on, but if I say I'm going to do something, then I will. So how about you focus on your own business and take my name out of your mouth? Absolutely ridiculous. But she took that attitude to our Rachel and she was talking so much rubbish. I mean, she was mentioning things like Rachel coming round to people's houses at Christmas and eating all of the quality street after 10 minutes. What are you trying to suggest? Are you fat shaming our Rachel? Are you suggesting that people shouldn't have quality street in there? Are you suggesting that working class people aren't allowed quality? So are you fat shaming working class people? Are you suggesting that the children who've maybe not had as much this year are not allowed, you know, a bit of sugary goodness at Christmas? Is that what you're doing, Kim? Because that sounds exactly what you were trying to suggest with that comment. Absolutely awful. And then she said to her, let me explain to you, woman to woman, as if how patronising is that? As if we don't know what a woman is. Excuse me, but the Supreme Court made it very clear what a woman was earlier this year, so we don't need to be told by you, thank you very much. But it was just so sad to see how Rachel reacted to all of this. In fact, not just Rachel, because our Yvette and our Kia looked like they were going to burst into tears at one point. It was pretty brutal, to be honest. It was really, really sad to see it. But then, obviously, our Rachel had to go and speak to some of the press, and she got a lot of pressure on her from that as well, asking ridiculous questions about how much she's going to charge people per mile to drive their electric cars and how much, and has she worked it out? Well, no, she's not worked it out yet. And she said, we'll work it out. And then this is what us Labourers do. We just work it out as we go along. We don't need to set it out too far in advance. We could just say this is what we're thinking of doing and that we'll probably defo do it, maybe, could do. Don't know. But why they had to put so much pressure on her like that, it's just so unnecessary. But that is what the press do with us Labourers. And they did it to our David as well. Our David had to make a very, very difficult decision this year about scrapping jury trials. And he came out and he said, this is probably what we're going to have to do. And then there was so much pushback on it. People saying, you can't do that. It's in the Magna Carta. You can't do that. But we've got a backlog that we've got to deal with. There's a lot of very dangerous people writing a lot of very dangerous misinformation online and saying mean things to upset. And they need to have their day in court. So why not just put them in front of a judge? Just skip the jury, put them in, then they can send them down for a couple of years so they've got time to reflect and think about the things that they've said and done. It just seems to make sense, but apparently he's not really allowed to do that. So we'll probably have to add that to the Us Labour's U-turns, and we maybe won't be doing that. But they didn't just leave it at that. They had a go at him because he did a lovely interview where he talked about his role models, and he mentioned that Nelson Mandela was his role model, and that would have been wonderful if he'd just left it at that and not taken it any further. That would have been a lovely soundbite and a lovely story to push. Unfortunately, he added that his second favourite role model was Bill Cosby. Now, it wasn't. I don't want to get into our David's head. I don't know. Maybe he just made a mistake. Maybe he was thinking about other inspirational bills and he got his bills mixed up. Maybe he was thinking about Bill Gates or, I don't know, Bill Clinton, somebody else that was very inspirational to him. And he came out with the wrong bill. You don't know. And why is everyone fussing? It's not like he's going to go for a drink with him. He's not in any danger. So why are you talking about it? But this is what the far-right adjacent media do. They have to slag off us Labours because they've got nothing else better to talk about. But do you know something? It doesn't matter what you say and it doesn't matter what you do. Us Labours are going to continue to go from strength to strength. I'll see you again on another no-brainer with Angela Rayner. And why is everyone fussing? It's not like he's going to go for a drink with him. He's not in any danger. So why are you talking about it? But this is what the far-right adjacent media do.